Good morning, welcome back to another day in the life of a reseller vlog. Today is Monday, February 19th. Been busy this morning. I got a few Star Trek action figures listed into the store. Now I'm kind of turning my attention back to the hats. If you watched the last video, you guys know that I bought a 68 hat lot online arbitrage purchase, and now I'm busy listing those hats into my stores. I got I think about 20 of them up into the stores already. And now I have to do the rest of them, but let me give you a look at those Star Trek figures I got up this morning. Alright, here's a look at them. 6 action figures, Star Trek action figures that I listed this morning, part of a Star Trek unit that I bought several years back. Finally getting around to listing these Star Trek action figures. They're worth a lot of money, $15 each for both of those. I think $15 for these as well, and then $15 and $19 for that one. I think the ODO, is that one of the characters? That one was worth a little bit more money. 6 Star Trek characters into the shop. So I've got a batch of those Star Trek figures still left to list, but I'm getting pretty good at getting those listed. I have, like I said, just 2 more stacks of them, and then we'll have them all online. Those figures have been sitting in a tote for several years now, and it feels good to finally get some of those online. None have sold yet, but at least they're online, and then they will have the opportunity to sell. So that's the first step to getting them sold, right? Getting them photographed, getting them listed. I did wake up to 6 orders this morning out of the big store, so let's take a look and see what sold. There you see it, 6 orders for $96.91. $96.91 for 6 orders. Let's see what sold. First item sold for $17.94. It's a vintage Nissan patch measured 4x1, rectangular, NOS blue, red, and white. So I paused there for a second because I was trying to figure out what NOS stands for. I'm still not sure, but that patch came out of a junk drawer lot that I bought. Had a bunch of patches, listed them individually. That was a pretty good purchase price for just a single patch. Nissan, it was kind of a vintage look. There was only a few of them online and a few of them sold. So Nissan vintage patch, you know, you never knew what is going to sell, and that definitely has a market. Yeah, that's something I never would have thought of selling, you know, but you buy a junk drawer lot, you kind of force yourself to look up a few things, and you find a certain, you know, patches, of course, you list them up in bulk, but you never think that you could sell one for, what, $17.94 for just one single little patch, especially like a car patch, I guess. That's the going rate for a vintage Nissan patch, so keep an eye out for those. Second item to sell, sold for $14.91. It's a Greg Norman blue polo shirt, men's short sleeve solid, large, polyester. This is one of those play dry Greg Norman with the shark on the sleeve there. I'm not sure if you can see that, but has the shark on the sleeve. A better look at that shark. You can see it there. So Greg Norman, of course, the famous golfer, right? They think they called him the shark. That's why you see the shark there on the sleeve there. And he makes pretty good quality polo shirts, golf clothes. And people do like to wear those. They're very well made. I see them at the thrift quite often, though. They don't have a great sell-through rate, but you know a quality polo will always sell, so I usually pick them up when I see them. Next item that sold for $18.84. It's a G. Loomis Fear No Fish red baseball style hat, one size fits all, strap back. So that was one of the hats from the lot that I listed yesterday. Of course, I spent $103 on a 68 hat lot, so that was the first one to sell out of that lot. And $18.84, so we're well on our way toward recouping our investment. Once I get the rest of these up, some of them will start to sell, and we'll be in the profit in no time. So that's the first one, the G. Loomis Fear No Fish. If you see that logo, I have sold a t-shirt that also was G. Loomis, and I guess that is a popular brand, I guess, for fishermen. With items sold for $18.04. Sticking with the fisherman theme, this is a Peterson Portland, Maine solid brass fisherman statue paperweight figurine. I guess I called it a paperweight, a figurine, and a statue, but a brass little fisherman. Let me show you guys the rest of these photos, give you guys a look. There's the back of it, and there's the side of it, and there's the bottom, and there's a little close-up of him. So I think that was a storage unit find, if I remember correctly. Maybe it was in a junk drawer lot, I'm not sure, one or the other. But brass figurines, I guess I saw old shed flips, Lonnie and Candace, they were listing some brass figurines, so I saw that. And I thought, oh, I've got one, so I listed mine up, and it sold pretty quickly. So the little brass fisherman was sold $18 and change. This item sold for $10.60. It's a lot of Star Trek paperback books, a lot of 3 of them, Stone and Anvil, Ex Machina, and The Quiet Place. So those all sound like movie titles, right? Ex Machina and The Quiet Place. I don't know about Stone and Anvil, but some popular movies that have happened over the last few years. Maybe it all started with Star Trek, who knows? I don't know quite the history and storyline of Star Trek, but I'm sure it has inspired a lot of art in the past and future. The different Star Trek shows and movies. It's been quite a franchise. It doesn't get all the hype that Star Wars does, but Star Trek has made its mark on the world, definitely, and I've realized there is a lot of Star Trek fans. You know, I listed those books, now I'm listing these action figures, so hopefully some of those fans will find that stuff and buy it up. I think the fact that I listed those action figures led to some more book sales. People searching Star Trek got into the store and found some books they could buy. 6th item sold for $16.58. It's a Forster's Golf Black half-zip line pullover jacket coat, size large, men's. So you'll find these at the thrift quite often. You know, they're kind of between a sweatshirt and a jacket, kind of that windbreaker type with the side pockets that you wear golfing, or I guess you could wear it anywhere, but you know, it's kind of like warming up playing baseball, or warming up on the golf course, or anytime you need a little extra layer. Not quite sure what to call it, a sweatshirt or a jacket, but they're out there. I usually pick them up because they're usually pretty well made and people like to buy those. So there you see it. Sales have picked up a little. 6 orders for $96.91. $96.91, 6 orders. So I'm going to go locate those orders, get some shipping labels on them, and add them to the tote to go out to the post office. So just a reminder, today is President's Day, so probably not a real rush to get things to the post office. I think they're closed today, but I could probably still drop them off in the drop box there. I've got a tote about half full. I've got to add these 6 orders to it and whatever sells out of the small store. And I think I'm going to run into town and go for a run later this afternoon. That's the plan anyways. So I better get busy and pack these up and get ready for it. So after I'm done packing, I still have these 4 hats to list that I had photographed last night. I photographed 10 hats last night, only got 6 of the 10 listed, so we got those 4 left to go. Let me give you guys a reminder about that huge lot of hats, what it looks like, and what I have left to list. Here's what's left. Again, we had 68. I think I've listed 20. Well, once I get those other 4 up, it'll be 20 of the 68 up. We still have all these to go. The hats have started selling. We had our first one sell out of the batch, that G. Loomis hat, but there's all kinds of fun hats in here, so I'm going to probably grab from that today. Star Trek action figures are down to just 2 stacks here, so we're working through those. 2 more stacks to go. So I have been forcing myself to list in some of these different categories, some easier categories to list in, you know, just get photographed and focus on one thing so you don't have to think so much when you're filling out those item specifics. I also have a nice watch lot that I've started listing. Let me remind you about that. Here's a look at those watches. We got the first batch of those on, but we still have all these to go. I think there was 27 total, so we still have these watches to grab from and list as well. So the idea is that I'm trying to build up a little bit of inventory in some different categories that I can just list in bulk. Grab, you know, like 10 watches and list 10 watches, 10 hats and list 10 hats. And just really focus on getting more listings up, because as you see, you know, when you list more, you sell more. It gets in front of more eyes, and the search results are filled with your listings. Of course, you're going to start selling more stuff. So I have seen an increase in impressions by listing quite a bit last weekend. Got a bunch of those hats up, and those impressions just really spiked. Let me show you. So if you go to your seller hub and under performance and traffic, you can see these charts here that give you kind of a look at how many impressions you're getting, how many page views you're getting. As you can see, these two charts here, this is the last few days on this side. As you can see, that's Saturday and Sunday, the last two bars there. Those are the impressions, and down here are the page views. So big jumps in impressions and page views. So if you look down here, this is the sales chart, right? Not very consistent. It's all over the place. We've had a couple spikes there. And hopefully these new listings will lead to a few more big spikes. They have yet to happen, but it usually takes a couple days. So like yesterday, I listed probably over 20 items into my big shop, my big store, and you saw that bar on the far side, how large it was. You know, those impressions and page views are just through the roof, and that usually takes a couple days to get those eyes and have those listings kind of settle into the page, you know, what they send to customers. I think, you know, they send offers, you know, you can make an offer on this item. People that have signed up or looked at your item, they get a email that, hey, make an offer on this hat, you know, and then a few days later you start getting those offers in your through eBay. So that's kind of what I'm waiting on now. You know, I've done the work already. Those big days of listing, I'm gonna try to continue that this week and get those hats up. But you know, Saturday and Sunday I was pretty busy listing all day, so hopefully we'll see in the next couple days if it leads to an increase in sales. So far today we woke up to almost $100 in sales and 6 orders, so not too bad the way to start a Monday. Usually Monday and Tuesday are kind of the slowest days of the week for me anyways. I get quite a few sales over the weekends usually. And then sometimes later in the week we'll have a day where sales spike. But Mondays and Tuesdays are pretty rough. So to start with almost $100 in sales this morning out of the big store is not bad. I'll take it. Alright, there they are. 6 orders for $96.91. So I must say, I was walking down the stairs with an armful of those orders. One slipped out of my hand, and I thought it was that brass statue headed for my toe. Luckily it wasn't. It was a jacket. So that brass statue, though, that was a heavy little sucker. Put it in a flat rate envelope, so it should be alright getting to the customer, but you don't want to drop that one on your toe, that's for sure. So I just weighed it. It weighs 2 pounds and 16 ounces. Definitely a lot of brass in that one, a heavy package. You'll avoid putting that one on your toe for sure. Alright, here they come. Let's get these shipping labels printed and on these packages, get them out to the customers. Alright, 6 more orders for the toe, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the tote is filling up. Alright, time for a little lunch break. So I got those 4 hats listed into my store. I think what I'm going to do, instead of going into town today since the post office is closed because it's President's Day, I think I'm going to hold off on delivering orders until tomorrow and just focus on getting some more hats listed into the store, make it a listing day instead of going into town. Tomorrow we'll drop off orders. So I'm gonna get out in that photo station, find some more hats to list, get them photographed and listed. Alright, I'm out here in the photo station. I spent some time cleaning up a few more hats. Got 10 laid out here ready to photograph and list. Let me give you guys a look at these. There are 10 more hats from that 68 hat lot that I purchased online. There's a little Green Bay Packers. It's a kid size, smaller hat. My first cap, it's called Green Bay Packers cap. This is kind of a fun one, a Chuck Norris hat. Has a Chuck on the front there in the red, white, and blue. And the back has this cool fist, says Chuck Norris on it. A snapback. This is an old vintage Henry Weinhardt's beer hat, navy blue beer hat. This one is a Seattle Mariners hat. I did a little cleaning on this one, might be a little damp still, but it has that Mariners M on there. And then on the side it has the American League patch, red bill, the green undercolor. This is a Hard Rock Cafe hat. It's called The Joint on the front. It says The Joint Las Vegas, and on the back it has the Hard Rock Hotel Las Vegas logo on there. This was that Washington State Cougars signed hat. It has all the signatures on both sides of the bill, both sides. So that might be worth a little bit more money. We got Washington Cougars. We got the Cougs right next to the Huskies. So here's the Huskies W. Basic Washington snapback. Has the Washington on the back there. And let's see, this one is Shimano. And that cycling brand. A nice polyester with the nylon netted snapback. This is a pretty clean hat, actually. It doesn't look like it's ever been worn. So that'll be a good one for someone to get. Green hat. Here's a little power bar, burgundy red with the gray bill. Power bar, also a snapback. Nice looking hat. And here is the Los Angeles Lakers hat. Another snapback. It's not in tip-top condition. Has a little bit of discoloring on the on it from wear and stuff, and on the inside, but the snapback is in good shape, and should be ready for someone to pick it up at a decent price. So there we go, 10 more hats to get listed into this store. So we still have a bunch here. I got to work on getting some more of these cleaned up once I get this 10 on, but we're working through them, getting through those 68 hats that we got in that giant $103 online arbitrage purchase. We got some more great ones in there. There's that Dodgers hat. That one's going to need some cleaning. Atlanta Falcons, Adidas. Some of these do need a little bit more cleaning. Like this one got sweat stains all over it. So it'll take a little bit of work to get that one ready to list. But I'm going to do my best to get them online, get them all online one way or another. So like I said in previous videos, this hat lot was a little rough. Some of those hats had some discoloration, hair on them, some stains, but I got the sponge out, I got the little sticky roller, and I've been working them out, making them look as good as I can before I post them up. Trying to get them on, get top dollar for them so that I can make back that investment and get in the profit. We had one hat sell so far out of the 20 that I listed, so we're well on our way. Hopefully once I get some more of these up, those sales will start rolling in. We really gone after that hat category hard the last couple days, so I'm looking forward for a few more hat sales in the upcoming days and this week in general. So we'll see how things work out. Investing a lot of money in snapback hats and other hats, so I've got a few more lots coming in the mail, but this was a big one, this $103 68 hat lot. So I'm gonna keep working on it today. I got 10 more set out there, so I'm gonna get busy on it. Alright, I just logged into the small store. I think I'm gonna list some hats into the small store. We had one sale out of the small store. Let me show you what sold. Here it is. This sold for $21.49. It's a Romeo and Juliet, a 1968 film DVD 2000 widescreen movie. So I guess it originally came out in 68. And this is the 2000 version, as from what I gather. I don't know, worth a little bit more money than I expected it to be. Romeo and Juliet, an old version. So that version is by the director Franco Zeffirelli. I guess he says he cast two unknowns in Romeo and Juliet in 1968, and that was the version that sold. It's worth a little bit more money than the typical Romeo and Juliet that you see out there, or the new ones with Leonardo DiCaprio and whatnot. So a 1968 version. Keep an eye out for that one. That's definitely a bolo. Alright, here comes the label. Another one for that movie, that DVD, Romeo and Juliet, sold. Alright, one more for the tote. Slowly filling up. Alright, we got them all listed. So it's about 8:30 now. Just finished up listing those 10 hats. Listed those into the small store. Well, I did one into the big store and then 9 into the small store. Got them all up there. I think I'm going to call an end to the video and call an end to the night. Tomorrow we'll start up fresh with some new inventory. I'll show you everything that sold overnight and tackle those hats in the photo station. I also have the watches and the action figures, so I got plenty of inventory to list. So we'll get at it again tomorrow, but I want to thank everybody for watching this one to the end. If you haven't subscribed yet and you like these little day in the life of a reseller videos, please consider hitting that subscription button, ring that notification bell, and come on back for some more. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.